Princess on a Pillow here. I am here to do a review slash recap with my opinion on 90 Day Fiance, Season 9, Episode 9. It's titled Poison in the Honey. Poison in the Honey. Let's get started. Okay, the first couple is Scheider and Blau. So Scheider is spending time with Blau's daughter. She's showing her how to cook chicken. Shida still wants the kids to call her mother, but the daughter still wants to call her by her first name. Now, I can see both sides because I was born in Jamaica. I came to the States when I was 11. When in Jamaica, a child cannot call an adult by their first name. That's a no-no. So I can understand that because I grew up knowing that and not doing that. It's a no-no. But then I can understand the daughter's point of view. She doesn't know Shida. Calling her mother is just too much right now. She doesn't even know her. So I see them both sides. They just have to figure that out and decide to call her something else other than mother and not her first name. I don't think that's appropriate for a child to call an adult by their first name. Okay? Okay. So the next scene, everybody is at the house and they're praying. So later on they decide to go somewhere. So while they're driving in the car, Scheider brings up shopping for the wedding. In his confessional, Blau said that, there's other things we need to think about other than shopping for the wedding. He wants a prenup. And he said that he mentioned to her before about a prenup, but they didn't get into details about the prenup. I say, Blau, what are you waiting for? You propose to her, you're engaged to her, you bring her over here to the States. When are you going to actually talk to her about this prenup? You need to do it ASAP, really clear this thing up. But with him, it's always something. Something is always an issue, First issue, he thought she was after his money. He would only video chat with her with a blank wall behind him because he can't show her the house because she might be after his money. So that was one of his issues. His other issue is she has to get along with all of his family, with everybody in his family, or he's not going to marry her. The other issue was she has to go to Juma. He wants a wife that goes to Juma with him. His other issue is he doesn't want more kids. His other issue is he's pretending to be OCD because what has he done for anyone to think that he's OCD? He wants a clean house. I want a clean house. Everybody wants their house clean. Nobody wants to live in a dirty house. He's not OCD. What has he done to show that he's OCD? Absolutely nothing. He's not OCD. He's not on his hands and his knees scrubbing at little spots and saying, "Ooh, is that a spot right there? Let me scrub that out." He's not doing any of that. He wants a clean house. And who doesn't want a clean house? He's not OCD. And now he wants a prenup. Everything is an issue with him. Next week is going to be another issue, okay? He's going to come up with another issue next week. So they go riding scooters. What's her name? Shaida's never ridden a scooter before, so Blau's giving her a block of instructions on how to ride a scooter. She started off shaky, but then she got the hang of it. Then they decide to sit down and take a break. So they're sitting down talking, and I think she brings up the dirty silverware. The dirty silverware. I don't agree with her. Why won't you wash the silverware properly? If you put the silverware in the dishwasher and then you take it out and it doesn't look clean, either rewash it in the dishwasher or wash it yourself. Some good old elbow grease and wash it yourself. Dirty silverware is unacceptable. Unacceptable. That's not being OCD. I don't know of anybody who wants to use dirty silverware. So she gets upset with him and she tells him she wants some space. So he leaves her sitting there. He gave her some space. And that's the end of Blau and Shida. That was it. Next up, it's what's his name? Um, Jib Jabri and Miona. This thing like it's about to fall. I don't know what to do to make it not fall. Next is Jabri and Miona. So we pick back up where we left off. Jabri and David, are fighting. They're not really fighting. They're just grabbing each other and they put each other to the floor. And that's all they're doing. They're just holding on to each other. Nobody's punching. Nobody's hitting. Nobody's kicking. Nobody's biting. Nobody's doing anything but grabbing onto each other. So they're really not fighting. Made me think it was kind of staged. Anyway, they separated them, and Jabril goes off into the bathroom, and David is bitching, moaning, and griping about Miona still. He just won't leave that damn Miona alone. I think he is jealous of the relationship, of the fact that Jabri has a girlfriend. So now Jabri is concentrating more on his girlfriend and not hanging out with him more, or not in his life as much as he was before having a girlfriend. That's how it is. Best friends have to take a back seat when your friend, starts dating someone seriously. That's just the way life is. The girlfriend or the boyfriend comes before the friend. And that's not just what it is, but David can't get that in his head that that's the way it's supposed to be. So that's that. So what happens after that? So after they Jabri gets out of the bathroom, they argue some more, and then they go on with their little session, their little music session. And I'm not sure I like that music. It's not. I didn't hear a beat, but then maybe that type of music is just the type of music that you jump up and down to, not really dance to, like mm, 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 mm. Maybe it's that type of music that you just jump up and down to, because I didn't hear any beat. Or maybe later on they're gonna add the beat. I don't know, but it's not my type of music. But that daggone girl, Brittany, the what is she, a rapper, singer, whatever she is? I think she's showing off a little bit. I think she's trying to get somebody to call her up and give her a record deal. But I don't blame her. Use this as your foot in the door. That's what I'll say. So after the session, Jabri, am I saying his name right? Jabri blames Miona for his behavior. He just throws, after defending her to David, after the session, he throws her under the bus and blames her for his career not going anywhere. I don't think the lack of your music career going anywhere has anything to do with Miona, Jabri. So come on, cut it out. Anyway, so next scene, Miona goes wedding dress shopping with Brandy, the bandmate. So Miona tries on a cute little wedding dress. It fits her. It looks like the type of thing that she would wear. It's pretty. It's like a mermaid type dress. I like those type dresses too. And the sales lady's asking her 20 questions, asking her a whole bunch of questions. I think the producers probably put her up to it. They probably gave her a little script. Ask these questions. I hope she's getting paid. Because I wouldn't be out there asking people questions like that. I'm selling you a dress. I'm selling you a dress. I don't give a damn why you buying the dress, who you buying the dress for, when you gonna wear the dress. I don't care. If I'm selling you a dress, buy the dress and get out. Next. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Miona tells Brandy, she's talking to Brandy about living with Jabri's parents and how she's not liking it. And she also asks Brandy if Jabri defended her to David. And Brandy kind of lied, because he did defend her, but then after that he threw her under the bus. But Brandy said, yeah, he did defend you. Poor Brandy, she's trying to keep the peace. I don't blame her. I would too. But I think Jabri just wants to keep the peace with David. He probably, when he gets to Miona, he probably tells Miona something different than when he's talking to David. He tells David something totally different. That's what I think he's doing, going back and forth, because he's trying to keep the peace with Miona and he's trying to keep the peace with David, because he feels like he's just in the middle, being pulled this way and that way. Anyway, next scene, Jabri and David, they go to a cafe, and Jabri is wearing a wedding ring, and rumor is out there that him and Miona got married in Serbia before she came to the States. But anyway, we're just gonna keep on riding this bus till the wheels fall off. We're just gonna go along with the story. So they're at a cafe, and David lies and tells Jabri that he wants Miona and him to the relationship to work out, which is a lie. He does not want that relationship to work out. He wants his friend back, and he wants Miona out of the picture. Then he asks Jabri, what does Miona bring to the relationship? That's none of your damn business, David. That's none of your business what she brings to the relationship. She's not in a relationship with you. She's in a relationship with Jabri. So Jabri basically says that Miona does not support his music. He says she's young and she's impatient. See, he's throwing her under the bus, and that's so wrong. Then Jabri asks David if he thinks he should get. Jabri asks David if he thinks that he should get married. What kind of question is that? It's not what David thinks. It's what you think. So of course David says, no, you shouldn't get married. Don't get married. And then in his confessional, Jabri says he's feeling a lot of doubt about marrying Miona. That's the end of Jabri and I should say Jabri and David. Jabri, David, and Miona. That's some bullcrap, because why are you going to ask somebody what they think if you should get married now or not? It's up to you. Do what you want to do, idiot. That's the end of them. Next is Colby and Emily, another bunch of idiots. I shouldn't say that, but that's how I feel. Sometimes you should think things and not say it. But hey, I'm going to say it. Anywho, so they go horseback riding. They go to the neighbor's house to go horseback riding. I don't know why they didn't ride the horse at Emily's farm or Emily's stable. Maybe those horses are sickly and they can't be ridden. I don't know, but they go to the neighbor's house to ride horses. Colby has never been on a horse before. Hell, this is the first time he's seen a horse close up. So they give him a helmet and a step ladder, and he crawls up there on the horse, and he did a pretty good job. And I'm kind of jealous, because that's what is on my bucket list. I've never ridden a horse before, and that's what I would like to do. I would like to ride a horse before I die. But he's not even riding the horse. He's walking the horse. He's just walking the horse. Click, 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 click. When I ride a horse, I want to get a little trot going. You know, I don't want to be riding. I want to get a little trot. You know, whatever. I want to get a little trot going. I don't want to be walking the horse. You know, that's my on my bucket list to do. But anyway, he does a pretty good job with the horse. And next, Emily gets on the horse. She has a helmet and she has a stepladder, and she was very clumsy getting on that horse. And for someone whose parents own horse, she grew up with horse, she has ridden a horse before, she was very clumsy getting on a horse. Yeah, she was very clumsy. She wasn't. Colby did a better job getting on a horse than she did. I guess maybe because she gained some weight and she hasn't ridden a horse in a while. Maybe that's the reason she was clumsy getting on the horse. Anyway, next scene, Emily asks her parents to pay for the wedding. Now, in my knowledge of American tradition, don't the female's family usually pay for the wedding? Isn't that the tradition in America? The female's family daddy pays for the wedding, but she asked him to pay for the wedding. And the delusional father says to the camera that Colby has to prove to him that he can provide for the family. So he has to prove to you that he can provide for Emily, himself, and Colby before you pay for the wedding. That's backwards, baby. They get married, then he gets a green card, then he gets a job. That's how that goes. So how can he prove to you that he can support the family before the wedding? Didn't they tell him what show he's on? You're on 90-day fiance. They have 90 days to get married. After he gets married, he gets a green card, then he gets a job. That's the order of the thing, right? That's what I think. I don't know if they explained that to him. Maybe they didn't explain how it works to him. Or maybe he thinks he's on another show. I don't know what's going on with the father. Then he tells Emily that he is worried about the time frame. I guess he's trying to say that they shouldn't get married so quickly. Father, you're on a show called 90-Day Fiance. So they have to get married in 90 days. What are you talking about time frame? The time frame is 90 days or less. He thinks he's on another show. I think he believes he's on another show. They need to really sit him down and explain everything to him. Because I don't think he understands totally what's going on. Okay? He's delusional. He's drunk. I don't know what's going on with the father. So Emily and the mother, they tell the father that Colby told her to shut the F up. I don't know why they had to tell the father that, but they told that to the father. So the mother and the father, they voiced their concern about the shut the F up statement. But Emily basically tells them to mind their own business and pay for the wedding. She didn't say those words exactly, but basically that's what she told them. And of course, the father agrees to help them to pay for the wedding. Then the father tells her that eventually they're going to have to stop asking him for help. Then Emily explains to them that Colby cannot work until he gets a green card. I don't know if this is the first time they're realizing this. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure she probably explained that to them before. I don't know what's going on. I see why Emily is in control of this family, because the mother and the father, they're totally clueless. So the mother asks Emily, what kind of job can Colby get? Emily says, I don't know. And the parents are like, so there you go. There you go. Nobody knows Colby's skills. Nobody knows what Colby can do. But why are you just now asking her this question? When you knew he was coming to the States to live in your house, you should have asked what's going to happen afterwards. You should have asked that question. Now you want to ask that question? Get out of here. But they shouldn't be asking Emily that question. They should be asking Colby that question. What are your plans, Colby? In his confessional, the father basically says that Emily is clueless. I'm saying the father and the mother is clueless, but the father is saying Emily is clueless. I guess it's like father like daughter, or like daughter like father. So then the parents, they get on their high horse and they tell Emily that she does not know how to live in the real world. They tell her she don't know how to pay a mortgage. She doesn't know how to pay utilities. She don't know how to buy food. She doesn't know how to budget. And I say, that's not really totally Emily's fault. That's the parents' fault. She's 29? Let's run it up to 30. She's 30 years old and they've been taking care of her entire life. Because of them, she's never ever had to pay rent or mortgage or utilities or buy food. Because of them, that's the way she is. It's like you take a sledgehammer and hit somebody in the knee with it, and then you tell them, now run. You handicap her, and now you're telling her you don't know how to live life. Because y'all have been taking care of her. That's why she doesn't know how to do these things, because y'all have been taking care of her. You spoil her rotten, and now you're complaining about it. I can't with them. Next scene, the father and Colby, they sit down to talk, and the father asks Colby, what are your plans? This is the funniest crap I've ever heard. Colby said he can go back to modeling. Okay, you can go back to modeling, but it's going to be hard for you to find a modeling job. First, you have to lose weight, get yourself in shape. And then you can't be in, where are they? Where are they anyway? They can't be, he has to go to a city where they model, like New York, Miami, even Chicago, I think. California. You gotta move out of that area that you're at. Ain't no modeling going on there. So there's a lot to do if you plan on modeling again. Then Colby said he tells his father that, he could train him to be an architect in his company. And then he can take over the whole company. That's some funny stuff. I can't believe Colby said that out of his mouth. Colby is like Benium. Benium says, well, if the relationship don't work, she can get me a green card and I can just stay here and work and do whatever. Anyway, the father says in his confessional that Colby is out of his mind and is crazy if he thinks he's going to take over my architecture company. So the father asks Colby, do you have a degree? Colby said, I have a high school degree, a high school diploma. And then the father explained to Colby that, you have to have, training and a degree, to be an architect. And then Colby says, well, I have $4,000. I can use that to pay for school. And in his confessional, Colby said $4,000 in Cameron, where he's from, you can live off of $4,000 for a year. So he thinks that $4,000 is going to take him, it is a good thing. But the father let him know you can't live off of $4,000. $4,000 is nothing here in the States. You can't live off of that. So the father tells Colby that him and Emily need to budget. Budget? What are they budgeting? I think Emily has a little job, but what is there to budget? I don't think her budget. Anyway, that's the end of them. I can't. That's the end of Colby and Emily. Next up is Thais and Patrick. We see Patrick on the phone. No, we see John on the phone with a plumber. Last episode, Patrick claimed that the new house was almost $1 million. It was almost $1 million home. And now they're on the phone talking to a plumber. Didn't somebody inspect this almost $1 million home before you decide to purchase this home? Now you're calling a plumber? Okay, whatever. And they're upset. He's upset with Thais because she doesn't like this house in Dallas. And everybody else seems to be upset with her too because she doesn't like this house. They're thinking because she didn't grow up in such a nice house, she should be happy to live in this nice house. And I don't think she's not happy to live in this house. I just think she prefers the house in Austin. The house in Austin, the layout is different. The living room is bigger. The kitchen is bigger. So she prefers the house in Austin. People are upset with her because she doesn't like the Dallas house. Why can't she not like the Dallas house? They're upset with her because she comes from a country where she's not living this wonderful. So she's supposed to like anything anybody put in front of her. If she doesn't like Emily, Thais, if you don't like the Dallas house, girl, don't like the Dallas house. Okay? People are thinking she has to like the house because of where she's from. She hasn't lived in a house this nice. If you don't like the house, girl, don't like the house. So they're upset that she doesn't like the house. And everybody else out there in the world is upset that she doesn't like the house. It's ridiculous. So Patrick and John, they start talking shit about Thais. John is saying that, do you still have that tracker on your phone? That's none of your business, John. And as a matter of fact, the tracker on the phone was not Thais's idea. Thais wanted Patrick to call her whenever he went someplace. But because he didn't want to do that, he got tired of doing that, he put a tracker on his phone so that you'll always know where he is. So the tracker on the phone business is Patrick's idea, not Thais's idea. So then John is all talking about, oh, so you're going to take that tracker off your phone now that she's here, right? That's none of your damn business, John. Mind your business. Go get your own girl and harass her. So Patrick takes Thais out to dinner and he gives her a gift. And the gift is lingerie and a new phone without the tracker on it so that she can't track him. So she's telling him the reason I want to know where you go is because you cheated on me. Patrick's version is that he says, "Oh, we had just met, and I was back in the States. We had a party, and I was drunk and I was confused, and I kissed a girl." But no, that's not how it went down. Thais told us that she saw text messages. She said that, um, what did she say? She said that they didn't just kiss, they made out, and he kept talking to the girl. And she saw the messages of him talking to the girl, telling the girl how much he missed her. So Thais broke up with him. So he's like, "Well, I haven't done anything since then, so you should trust me." And she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna trust you." He said, "Ooh, got my hair shedding." She said, "I haven't done anything." He said, "I haven't done anything since then, so you should trust me." He said, "If I do anything, if you see me do something, then put the tracker back on my phone." What? No. If you do something else, then I'm out the door. Screw that. If I do something else, if I mess up again or I kiss another girl or cheat on you again, then put a tracker back on my phone. No, she said, if you cheat on me again, I'm moving back to Brazil. And I hope she means it. I hope she moved back to Brazil if he cheats on her. Don't stay with somebody that cheats on you. That means he's done it twice, and what's going to stop him from doing it a third time? No. So that's the end of Thais and no, that's not the end of Thais and Patrick. Next scene is they're in their bedroom and they're unpacking their clothes, hanging up the clothes in the closet. And John comes and tells them, "We're having a housewarming party." So later on, two or three guys came over, and it's people that Patrick works with from the new Dallas office. And those guys invite four girls over that they don't know, that Patrick doesn't know, John doesn't know, Thais doesn't know. And of course, Thais is upset. I'd be upset too. This is my home. Why are these random women walking all up in my house? And they're cute little girls. They're not little girls. They're cute women too. So then Thais takes Patrick into the bedroom, talk to him for a little while. Then they come out back to the party and they make out in front of everyone. I guess Thais is trying to show these girls that this is my man. Hands off. And the scene goes off. And that's the end of Patrick and Thais and John. Next up is Guillermo and Cara. It looks like they're at a park with the dog. And they sit down to talk about the wedding. Guillermo wants a big wedding. And Cara wants to get married at a courthouse for $50. And then later on, after they save up, she'll do the big wedding. And I agree with Cara. For once I agree with Cara. But Guillermo, he puts his foot down. He says, "You're always telling me what to do. What we're gonna go do is look at a venue. Both gonna go look at a venue, and we're gonna make a decision on what to do." But this is what Cara wants to be right. So she takes him to an expensive venue where it's $7,500 to $10,500 depending on what day you have the wedding. She takes him to this expensive venue just to prove a point. Because you can have weddings for under a cute little wedding for under $3,000. And plus, the wedding that they have a wedding right now, the majority of his family won't be able to come over in 90 days or less. They won't be able to make it over here in 90 days. So why can't they just have a semi-nice wedding? It doesn't have to be fabulous and grand. It can be a nice little wedding. But anyway, Cara wants to be right, so she takes him to this expensive venue. And of course, they can't afford it, so she's gloating. So then they start talking about how Cara makes plans with her friends and don't discuss the plans with him first. And blah, 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 blah. That's the end of Cara and Guillermo. Next up is Mohammed and Eve. Apparently Eve went out. We saw that she went out last episode with her girlfriend, um, heifer number 2, I think it was, who had all the tits out, and they cried and they boo-hooed and they complained about Muhammad. So now Muhammad is politely telling her about herself, that you said you were going to come home early, but it was after 10 and I went to bed and you still hadn't come home. So she tells him that, her friends are worried about her. And he tells her that he doesn't understand why her friends are worried about her. What is he doing to her for your friends to be so worried? And she tells him, well, they don't want to see me change because of you, or lose who I am because of you. And Muhammad tells the camera that the friends are putting stuff in her ear. They're in her ear, and that's what making her act like, she doesn't know who he is. And I think Muhammad is right. It's like the 25-year-old is acting like a 48-year-old, and the 48-year-old is acting like a 19-year-old. But Muhammad is putting it on her. He told her that you knew who I was before I came here. And he says to her, if I'm hiding anything from you, let me know. Let me know if I hid anything from you. Because what you see, this is who I am. And you knew who I was before I came to the States. And in their confessional, Eve said that they never discussed or what he expected of her in regards to his culture and religion. And he said, that's not true. He said, you came to my city 4 times to visit me, and you saw how I lived. You saw how my life was. And you know what she said? She said, that wasn't reality. She said, I was on vacation, and that's not reality. Okay, whatever. In his confessional, Muhammad said that she better choose him over her friends. And he is not going to change who he is. And if she can't accept him, then he's just going to take his butt back to Egypt. And I hope he does. And if he were to take his butt back to Egypt, I bet you she'd follow right behind him. I bet you she would. That is the end of Muhammad and Eve. And this is the end of my review. I will be back next week with another review. Thank you so very much for watching. Princess on a Pillow here. Bye.